Greetings from the cave. This is my office at Gaston. It's in CET 105A. And I wanted to talk just a little bit about where we're at and how we're doing things, and three specific things: navigation and MindTap. Patience with me right now as I learn how to use MindTap to even grade your assignments. The third thing I want to talk about is a discussion board forum that I started this week just for fun. It's not for grading purposes. First of all, in navigation MindTap, if you're going to try to use the content views, you're going to have a rough time. Um, the way this is set up, the first book that we entered into MindTap was the networking portion of this course. And you're going to see that in the content view first with the security assignments at the bottom. If you use the calendar view, then it'll be in the right sequence, so you won't have to worry about doing something that's not due until later on and missing the current assignment. The problem with the week view is that you need to look at a week ahead. For example, I'm looking at what's due week 3, September 4th to the 10th, and it's the Unit 2 stuff that shows up. And Unit 2 is due Mondays, which is the early part of that week. So I want you to be looking at a week ahead and not the current week. It's a calendar view issue where the system uses a Sunday to Saturday calendar instead of a Tuesday to Monday view, which is what I would prefer to use. And at some point, I'm going to talk to the publisher about perhaps finding a way to do that. So again, I caution you, use the calendar view, work ahead a week and looking at it. And if you can get ahead even more than that, stay a week ahead to beat Murphy's Law. Again, Murphy's Law is something goes wrong at will, and things like losing your internet connection or your computer goes dead an hour before the assignments are due. Second thing I want to talk about has to do with being patient with me. This is the first time I've used MindTap, and I've been in the practice of adopting new systems for students only after they've been shaken out. I don't like being an early adopter of this stuff because you have to put up with the designer and provider and the problems that they've got with it. So what that means is that I'm just now learning how to use MindTap for you guys, including grading your assignments. And I'm going to be a little bit behind. I'm going to be more than fair. Students expect the instructor to be fair. That's their number one request. The number two request is that they be competent, in my case, and not just in the technology, but also in running its course. So please just be patient with me. If you received a note that you were on probation because you did not complete any MindTap assignments, that may not be the case. I'm going to have to go to the MindTap grading system and use it initially because the Blackboard content that I'm looking at, the Blackboard grades that are downloaded, are not up to date. So again, make sure that you keep up to date, work ahead, and all this will come out just fine. In the meantime, I'll learn how to use this system and help you even more. The third thing I want to mention to you is in the discussion board, at the very bottom, there's a forum I created for just for fun. It's not an assignment. It's just for fun. There's two of them I've started. The first one is titled, if I can get to it real quick, Orwell's 1984, Abusing Technology to Achieve Control. That is a series of YouTube's mostly trailers for movies that I think are for me, thought-provoking. They make you think a little bit, and specifically, what is the value of your privacy as we all sell it. The last thing that I listed is a really interesting short film titled "The Network Society." I've subtitled it "An Intersection of Digital Networks and Social Systems." This is coming from, I believe it's complexity.org. It's well done in my opinion. Take a look at it if you need a diversion or you're really interested in what the sociologists, the technologists, the philosophers and eventually everyone on the planet is going to come to understand several hundred years from now as what the digital, excuse me, what the network society looks like. What is it? So that's it. Next, oh, before I leave, last Saturday we had an open house for students in Dr. Shellman's department, all of the computer core students. I had several of you show up. It was great visiting with you. We're going to do this again just before the start or just after the start of the late start courses. So we're going to do another one, and I want to make myself available to you all at that time. It's no agenda, just come visit. I'll have the lab open and be able to show you some things that you get to do here and some of the hands-on courses we've got. So that's it for now. Keep going forward, and we'll talk again next week.